and welcome to a night of Dungeons and Dragons. Thank you so much for joining us for the world of Andor. My name is Brito, and I will be your Dragon Master. Dragon Master?
I say we keep it. Let's just do it.
The Dragon and the Dungeon Master tonight. We're so excited to be streaming on twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG. For those that are new to Dungeons and Dragons, basically we take a party of folks of all kinds of walks of life, and we put them together, and we have this story created by the Dungeon Master, and they get to create their own characters and customize them and basically go through the story that the Dungeon Master has laid out for them. So there's like a lot of twists. There could be tragedy, there could be not tragedy, there could be campiness, there could be all kinds of things that you can do within the world of D&D. While they are doing that, they have dice, and specifically a 20-sided dice that kind of decides their fates, decides their decisions, and a lot of details of the world that they are in. So while they play their characters and whatnot, they get to roll those dice, and they get to also battle as well. So it's a fun time. But all the technicalities out of the way, almost. Let's go ahead and introduce our players. Players, go ahead and say your name, your pronouns, which character you play, and where people can find you. We can go ahead and start with Noir.
Hey everybody, I'm Noir. Wow. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram as The Noir Enigma. You can find me on TikTok as just Noir Enigma because I'm not good with branding and I forgot my password. On Mondays, I produce and play in Kids on Bike with Roll20, and on Sundays, I play a GM into the Southlands with Cobalt Press. And there's other stuff that you can catch that on my Twitter.
All right. Next, we have Honorian.
Hey there. I'm Honorian, also known as the Game Dad. You can find me on twitch.tv/Honorian. You can find me at twitter.com/HonorianGD. I am a variety streamer, mostly doing video game stuff, but, I like to play some D&D and the like, too, so here I am.
Which one? I'm Tenny.
Hello, I'm Tenny. You can find me at It's Tenny with 2 Y's at the end, either on Twitch or Twitter, and I'll be playing Ravn. Both of our pronouns are she, her.
And last, but certainly not least, Rux.
Hi everybody. My name is Rox. Pronouns he, him. I'll be playing Oswin. Pronouns also he, him. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok at Rox the Wizard.
What?
I just realized I forgot because, I'm a jerk and not good at things. Pronouns he, him. I'm playing Jean. Also pronouns he, him.
He, him, I'm also a jerk, and
come on, y'all.
Flawless pronouns are also
come on,
jerk solidarity.
First to go.
Of course, it's the cis hex. The cis hex.
I didn't want to call that out either, but yeah, you're right.
Get out of my queer Minecraft server right now.
Ma'am, this is a Christian Lil Nas X music video.
Everyone go watch Montero by Lil Nas X. Anyway, my name is Brito, and you can find me on all social media at Brito_ with 3 E's. I am a content creator and a streamer. I am doing this Andor, and I think that's it for now. Oh. Now that we have introductions out of the way, we are delighted to be sponsored by Hero Forge, which you get to see our minis that we have made with the players, and they are awesome. Hero Forge is a website for D&D and TTRPG players that like to create little miniature figures of their characters that they play in campaigns. Just recently, they released 2.0 of the interface, and you get to add colors to things now, and it's so gorgeous. So a huge thank you to Hero Forge for letting us do the minis for Andor and also sponsoring Roll Together RPG. And we are also sponsored by Ultra Pro. My God. So you get to have a tabletop organized with your character folios, and they have dice bags, which people love a good dice bag. I'm actually getting a dice bag soon, and I'm really excited about it. And they supply a lot of things for sports and gaming collectibles and accessories and whatnot. So join us in Twitch chat today to win a gift voucher for Ultra Pro. So just go ahead and say something and you'll be entered in a random draw, and these can be given out internationally. And we have a new sponsor, Elderwood Academy, who has gaming themed gear, and they also have dice boxes. So we have dice bags and we have dice boxes, which is great. And there's rolling trays that you can get, and also arcane tomes that you can get. And there's like scroll and codex dice towers and rolling tray pairings, and they have such cool, unique stuff. And you can find out more at elderacademy.com. So we are also supported by Level Up Dice. There is a link in our chat for our Table Shakers range, and we are also supported by two lovely D&D video games, Idle Champions and Warriors of Waterdeep. You can get some codes at the bottom of the screen. You can type in !Idle Champions and Warriors of Waterdeep into the Twitch chat for download links. And just a reminder, we are Roll Together RPG on all social media, and a massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. And our shows are also available as podcast versions. So if watching a stream is not for you, that's totally fine. We have podcast versions on all streaming platforms. And finally, we play a diverse group of players who play a diverse group of characters. So we support trans identities and sexual and gender identities as well. Our tables are trans positive, and we encourage champion trans players and characters in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are different, that are a different gender than their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, and if it does happen, we would stop and correct the problem. And if there needs to be something corrected or looked over, or something that needs to be pointed out, please let us know and we will correct the problem. So, it's been a minute since I've done that, but let's get back into Andor. So, just to recap last episode, you finally arrived at the Isle of Ravn with the rest of the crew of the Ingvar, and kind of off. Magnus has fallen deeper under the curse, and Cal has agreed to follow all of you onto the Isle. And once you were there, you met with Jean, a wandering knight of Andor, and he started to lead all of you towards the lair of Valravn. So you all decided to walk into the forest and follow Jean to the lair of Valravn, where you defeated two shades that were guarding the outer perimeters of the forest. And you continue into the woods when you suddenly realize that Cal and the rest of the crew of the Ingvar are gone. Going further into the darkness, you suddenly start to get these visions of what could have been and your deepest fears. Either way, you will never forget what you've seen in these woods. And now you are here after blacking out in a cavern that is the haven of Ravn, with the man that you've trusted standing over Calliope, the missing child. And the last we left off, everyone was in this cavern, and Cal is standing over Calliope, looking at all of you with an evil kind of smirk on his face. If there is anything you'd like to say to Cal, now would be the time, or...
So, are we gonna get paid for this still?
I think that's the last thing that should be on our mind right now. Cal, what is going on?
Exactly what I planned. In fact, it happened perfectly. I thank you all for bringing me this far and giving me what I needed. But unfortunately, your adventure must end here.
You pay me what I owe and I'll gladly walk away. That doesn't happen, I'm gonna have to kill you.
You're going to have to kill me. I mean, I'd like to see you try it.
Oswin immediately takes out his short bow and shoots an arrow.
Nice.
Better
Are we
roll
bound,
a...
though?
No.
Okay.
You better roll a stealth for that? Stealth?
God damn. God damn.
Is 10 stealthy enough?
Oh. A what?
10.
10 me.
And me?
Awesome. This is right where we want to be. Wait, hold on. Last episode, my flask was destroyed. That's awesome. That's awesome. I should have taken one level in Barbarian just for the rage. All right. I would like to attack him. I would like to shoot a firebolt at him.
Okay. I would probably use stealth too, just for the quickness.
Okay, I mean just keeping it a buck with you. I'm not trying to be stealthy. I want him to hear every piece of this somatic component.
Okay, so then
you mo quay fi eat that, homie. Ah.
Okay, go ahead and roll just a flat d20 for me.
Flat d20? Alright, I can do that for you. I got a 9.
This ain't happening today.
So when you shoot that fireball, it goes up and over and not near.
That first one was a warning. Give me my money. On the second one.
Nailed it.
On the second one's gonna end your life.
Are we like standing?
Yeah. I would assume, unless you're still on the ground.
No.
Okay, then you're standing.
Okay.
Anybody else want to throw a fireball?
I don't have fireball, but is there any chance we can ask you to back away from the girl and leap?
I mean, you can absolutely take Calliope's body if you'd like. It's no use.
What's that mean?
I mean, it means she's already dead, homie. I mean, it means she's dead. She didn't make it. Which, you know, sad and all, but we had a job to do, and we did that job. And I feel like compensation.
He just looks up at you. So you don't care about the girl?
I didn't even really know her, being honest with you.
But she was still a little girl.
I mean, everybody can grow up to be an asshole.
All right, so Jean's not a being made of pure hatred. So he's going to go up and try and see if the girl is still, I don't know, alive.
Sure, Ravna will go with you as backup.
So Cal just takes a step back and he's like, by all means, could the both of you make a medicine check for me?
Oh my gosh.
And Osm's still just looking up and glaring.
Hey, Tenny, what'd you roll?
It's still loading.
Okay.
Oh, I got a 7.
Hey, does a 7 hit?
7?
So I didn't critically fail. Because that would be a 1. And I did not roll a 1.
We're a ranger and a vampire. We should not be medicine checks.
I rolled, in fact, an order of magnitude more than 1. I would say twice as much.
Oh.
So, Bree, just out of curiosity.
I've heard of people being alive before.
This is not going to go well.
This is not going to go well. No matter what your answer to me is going to be. I just want you to know that. Out of curiosity, I rolled a medicine check for Vala, and he rolled a 15. So he can see if she's alive or not. He doesn't care, though. Like, it's the thing. So if he sees, like, a chest, like, go up and down a little bit, is that what he sees, or is she, like, dead? It doesn't matter, regardless of the decisions he's gonna make. I just don't care.
I just need you to understand, when this whole thing's over, I'm gonna buy you a new flask and then use my hammer and break it in front of you. I just want to be perfectly clear.
Do I get to choose what kind of flask? Because they make
you can make it as nice as you want.
They make some flasks that can survive hammer strikes. You only get one hit.
Oh no, I'm going channel divinity smite on it. I'm bringing the power of my god into this one.
All right, I'm gonna get a +2 enchanted flask. Oh, so if I can just see if she's.
So you rolled a 15.
Yeah.
You did.
So I take it I'm not able to figure anything out based on the 2.
No. You couldn't even tell if you tried.
So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I was right. So money. Money now?
Now,
You get no money.
Then we gotta kill this guy. He wasted our time.
Cal,
Right.
who was Magnus to you? Who was Calliope to you?
People that I trusted to get me what I wanted.
And what was that?
Power from Ravn. I needed to bring the soul of a child, and I did. Magnus was the perfect target.
I don't know what they've promised you, but this path to Ravn, that power, it's nothing any of us should want.
I feel like you've run into the wrong people when it comes to Ravn.
As a matter of fact, I know people who do support him.
Like your love, Callum?
Excuse me?
You think I don't know? Ravn tells me everything. Especially about the people that I surround myself with.
What do you know of Callum?
Ravn has some plans for him. More than you know. More than probably he knows.
She's gonna take out her bow.
So we're done.
Must we always resort to violence?
If he has plans for Callum or any of us, then lead us to him.
I'm afraid your love is no longer with us. See, when people are used as pawns for Ravn, they're quite frankly disposable.
You're lying.
And Cal is going to walk towards all of you. And he is going to kind of move Calliope with his foot out of the way.
Can I shoot again?
You try, go ahead. Y'all do what you want.
Do I need to use another stealth?
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I got a +8 to. Oh my god!
So I can shoot another firebolt there?
Y'all can do what you want.
Does a 15 hit?
No.
That also was a warning shot because I'm starting to get mad.
When do you hit?
When I get fully mad, I'm like 60% there.
There is a child that is dead on the floor. You should be.
I don't know.
fully
I don't know
mad.
that kid. I don't know who that is. What I do know is this person promised to pay me, and now they're not paying me.
You know, I may not hit them, but I'm going to hit you.
What for?
There is a child dead on the floor, and you don't care.
Yeah, rough,
And
buddy.
Cal raises his hand and he snaps. And you all wake up in this place that's similar to an oasis. It's kind of quiet and it's the right amount of coolness in the air that kind of makes comfort overcome all of you. The stress that you were just feeling a millisecond ago, it just dissipates. And all of you look around to see familiar faces kind of just walking by, and some are laughing and some are smiling and others are intently focused on what they're trying to do. And some of these faces you recognize to be sort of bystanders in Andor, the faces that you see every day. Your friends, comrades, people that you've crossed paths with. And that's when you see him. Magnus is sitting and carving a gorgeous bow. And his beautiful brown skin isn't tainted with the black veins that overtook him anymore. And you can see his eyes more clearly. They're a gentle brown, and a small light resonates within them. And he's focusing intently on his work. And he looks up and he looks at all of you and he gives a gentle wave. Do you all
Let's go
approach him?
to him. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna approach you. What is going on?
That is a very, very broad question. You all know where you are?
Yes, among other things.
Where do you think you are?
Looks like Andor. But it's not, it can't be. So where are we? And so help me God, if you answer my question with the question, I am going to set you and everyone you love on fire.
That's what makes you angry.
Some people refer to it as the afterlife, for lack of a better word.
I'm dead?
Not necessarily. This is sort of a bridge for what's to come. When Cal got off the ship, something happened to the Ingvar, and none of us made it. And I'm afraid Andor has perished as well. Something was taken by Ravn, and it took away the barriers of the land that hid it from the gods. So, that's why you see Andor before you, as it was.
All of Andor, Scad,
In flames. He kind of just goes back to carving, and then suddenly a little girl comes out of the house that he's like sitting next to, and probably, if Magnus were standing up, she's probably like up to his chest. She also has brown skin, the same tone as Magnus does, and she has these two beautiful braids kind of just coming down to her waist, and she walks up to him and she tugs on his clothing that he's wearing, and he does this. It's like, I'll be in there in a minute. She goes back in. You know, this place is peaceful, but I can't shake the feeling that I could have stopped all of this. With Cal, I had no idea. There was no way I could have known. And my daughter's here with me, but the fact that she has no life. And I'm sorry that I dragged all of you into this. I really am.
are you telling us that we are the only four actually alive, or we are all among the dead and Andor is lost? Is there any way to restore it?
At this point, no. You all are the only ones.
How did it happen? What?
I can show you if you'd like. Only if you'd like.
Yeah,
Do you want to see?
We'll do it.
Yeah, minus that.
I think we owe it to the people that we lost to see what happened.
Close your eyes. And as you all close your eyes, you feel sort of a warm feeling in your body, and it's almost as if like someone is like embracing you. And you feel as if like you're going to fall asleep any second. And it's one of the most comforting things that you have felt in a very long time, considering what you all have been through. And suddenly you jolt awake. Jean, you open your eyes to the darkness that you have familiarized yourself with, and the chill of the Isle is frosting over your skin, and the sky isn't visible past the trees. It's something that you've grown accustomed to. And it's another night. Another night on the Isle within Ravn's grasp. But you remember this night fondly because it's the night that your father perished. And there's a soft sound of breathing next to you, and the man that was once your father, a beautiful knight, looks like he's in shambles, and his body has gotten thinner, his cheeks are sunken, and he's almost unrecognizable. But you haven't abandoned him. I don't think you ever could, regardless. And he turns to look at you. You say anything to him?
John is just kind of shocked. He knows that this can't be real, but he doesn't want to say anything and prove it's not. So he's just kind of sitting and taking in that moment.
And you can tell that the curse has overtaken him quite a bit. There are areas of his skin, like on his arms and like on his neck, that have been blackened. His eyes are kind of corroding over in the edges. And it's probably one of the worst cases that you've seen of the curse thus far. And he kind of gets up and I don't think I'm going to make it past the night. I know I said I would protect you, and I would protect Andor. But I don't know if I can go any further.
You've taught me to protect myself, and you've taught me to protect others. You've done everything you need to do. I was never strong enough to lose you, but you deserve peace. You deserve to be with Mom again. I'll be okay. I'll protect Andor. You can go. I'll take care of it.
I trust that you will. But I want you to do it. Please.
Okay.
And he lays back on his back. And he just closes his eyes. Then he waits.
Sean reaches for one of his hand axes. Reaches for his holy symbol and grabs it a bit. Says a little prayer, and then he tries to make it one single smooth cut to make sure it's as painless as possible.
And as soon as you do, the memory starts to fade away, almost in particles. It just starts to fall apart. And you're left standing in this darkness. And suddenly you just feel your body start to float down within that darkness. Ravna, the feeling of someone's hand on your cheek pressing your skin, and it awakes you, and you're suddenly staring into these green eyes that are just looking over your face. They're taking in every curve, every detail, just longingly. And his thumb kind of just goes over your lips, and he smiles, and his red hair is kind of fallen into his eyes. And as you come to, you feel like a steady rock of movement in the pit of your stomach, and it's very slow and very steady, but it's not something that's foreign to you. It feels like home. And you then realize that you're on a ship. And you feel him close to you. And he gives you a smile. You were dreaming again.
This isn't real.
What do you mean? It is.
You're not real.
Ravna, I'm right here. I'm real. I'm here in front of you.
She's gonna sit up and try and leave their quarters.
You want to make an insight check?
Was that insight?
Mm-hmm.
19?
It feels pretty real to you. Like, there's nothing evil or malicious about it. It's like another dream, basically. a very pleasant one.
She'll go back to him and take his hands and like try and get him to stand up and just be like, we need to go. We need to leave now.
Revna, we're on an assignment right now. What do you mean?
What assignment?
We're going to retrieve some goods. Are you okay?
I know I seem like I'm acting strange, but this isn't right. There's something. Does she remember where she was? Like, with Ravn, or is this just like...
Very vaguely, yeah.
Okay, this isn't right. I was just... in a dream, or... I don't... If she looks around, does everything look about the same as she remembers?
Mm-hmm.
She's just gonna kind of put her hands to her temples and just be like, just take a second and try and figure out what's going on. She's like really good. She's very confused.
And he kind of like slowly just puts his hand on her shoulders and he's like, what's wrong?
I don't know. There's just a feeling. Something's wrong.
Is it your visions again?
Maybe. It feels like that. The more it happens, the more I feel this darkness or whatever this is. It's getting closer and I don't know what to do about it, Callum.
Come sit next to me. And he sits on the bed, and he kind of just pats the spot next to him.
She'll sit next to him.
Hear me out, and I don't want to alarm you or anything, but I've been having visions too. They're not necessarily as detailed as yours or anything, but I've just been falling in these trances, almost.
What do you see?
Feathers, like black feathers, and I always think that it has to do with you or something, but it's like all these feathers are just falling around me, and they just keep getting higher and higher every single time I have this vision. It's almost like it's continuing, you know?
I know. That's how mine started. How long has this been going on?
Months. Again, I didn't want to mention it to you because, I didn't want to alarm you or,
Callum, I don't know.
About you.
I don't know how this works. The
thing is, Revna, is that when I do go through these visions, I feel at peace. And I feel good.
That's what he wants you to think. Are
you referring to Ravn? Is that what you think this is?
It must be. If not Ravn, who? It's starting to sound like... Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Continue.
You're starting to sound like those people from SCAD.
But are they so wrong, though? I mean, think about it. What we do with that power is our choice.
The visions that I've had are dark. Nothing peaceful about them. That peace is the temptation, and you're giving in. You have to trust me. You cannot give in, Callum.
And I just can't stop thinking about this.
What?
Someone was in our room the other night. I didn't know who it was or where they came from. I don't think I've ever never seen them on the ship before. And they asked me to... Never mind.
What did they ask you? What did they look like? Anything, any information. You're being cryptic, and this is not...
It's
like
nothing,
you.
Retna. Listen, do you trust me?
You know as well as anyone that if I didn't, you wouldn't be in this room beside me.
He turns his hand up on his leg. Take my hand. Please.
Can I insight check to see if I can figure out if this is a sort of like vision or like part of this? Yeah. I just have a really bad feeling about this. Eight.
As far as you can tell, there's no danger about it.
She'll put a hand on his wrist.
I'm kind of just... Do you not trust my hand?
If we're not using player knowledge, she would take his hand. She'll take his hand. Or like player intuition, player like... I just have a really bad feeling about this, but she is sucked in. God.
Well,
she'll take his damn hand.
He wants to hold her hand, that's it.
I guess. She'll hold his hand. She loves him. What? You cut out. What did you say?
He just wants to hold hands with a pretty lady.
Listen. This is not okay. This is... Oh. Okay. I'm back in.
So she takes it.
She takes his hand.
So he puts his other one on yours, and he just like sits there for a minute. And the two of you just sit there. And it's quiet. You can hear the sound of the crewmates upstairs. Sound of the ocean. It's just very quiet. There's nothing off-putting. There's It's just you two existing. And then suddenly the memory starts to fade away. And the same thing happens with you, and you start to float down into darkness. Oswin, the sunflowers were all facing your little cottage for the first time in a very long time. And it was really rare for sunflowers to bloom in Andor so strongly because it gets cold there pretty often, but this was one of the hottest summers that Andor had. They're about 4 feet high, so they looked like they were an entire forest compared to you, and you were just walking through the stalks. You feel your tiny hand in a bigger one, and you catch the scent of jasmine kind of floating towards you, and you see your mother. And her other hand is kind of just brushing along the stalks as you both walk further into the sunflower garden. And she looks down at you with a smile. You can kind of tell that you're younger because of how tall she is. And she gives your hand a squeeze, and she looks at you and she's like, "What do you want to do when you get older, Oswin?"
What do I want to do when I get older? Well,
Yes.
Of course, I want to be like mother and father.
Well, what do you want to do? Your mother and father have been in Andor for years and haven't left the land, and I see you out here messing with your swords and pretending to fight. What do you want to do?
I want to help people. That's why I mess with my swords and do all the practicing, so I can be just like you guys when I grow up.
You want to help people?
Yes. People who
At
need
any
it.
cost?
Well, father will do it at any cost, so I guess I'm willing to as well.
Oswin, can you promise me something?
Sure.
Promise me that you won't forget kindness. No matter what. Even if people treat you poorly, even if people tend to run over you, if they betray you, just promise me you won't you won't forget kindness.
I will try my hardest. This is a cruel world after all.
It is.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
Do you love me?
More than anything.
Good. I just needed to hear it.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Do you love me?
Until the day I die.
She stops walking and she kneels next to you. And out of the side of her pocket, she gets this tiny little wooden pendant, and it's carved into a little sunflower. You can tell that it's your dad's handiwork, and she was the one that painted it. So it's kind of like a worn out yellow with the brown in the middle, and it looks really pretty. And she hands it to you. I know you're going to be leaving home in probably a few months to a year. I want you to have this. I wish I could give you a whole sunflower, but obviously that's not feasible. So, just for the kindness that we just talked about.
I'll carry it with me forever and everywhere. And remember your kindness.
Good. No, your father and I are going to be leaving tonight for a mission that we have to do for Agnar. Are you going to be okay by yourself?
Of course, with father's teachings, no one can touch me. Hopefully.
And I do have something that I want to talk to you about in regards to this. You know how dangerous the missions that we go on are, right?
Of course.
And you know there are some chances that we may not come back, right?
As long as you're kind, you should be fine, though.
Oswin, sometimes it's not that simple.
I know. Trust me.
This mission is different. It's not people that we're facing. The creatures. Very evil creatures. I just want you to know that if something happens, you keep moving. Promise me that.
I promise that's all I can do.
And suddenly, in the distance, your father calls out to both of you, and he says that it's time for dinner. And she stands back up and she grabs your hand again. She's like, okay, well, let's go to dinner, shall we?
What's for dinner tonight?
Your favorite? Roll a d6 for me.
D6.
Because I can't decide.
Rolling.
Roll for favorite food.
I got a 2. 2 cheeseburgers.
Ooh, cheeseburger. Your favorite? Some beer?
Delicious. Yes, my favorite. I can't wait to eat it tonight.
Some beer stew. So, the same thing happens to you as you walk back towards your cottage with your mother. The sunflowers start to fade away. And the same thing happens to you and you become submerged in darkness. Vala, a sharp pattering of rain stings your cheeks and you feel your legs running through rain. And you're in Andor and you recognize the places of Scad. And your heart is beating against your chest. Your breath is hurting because of how much you've been running. And you hurry as quickly as you can, rounding a corner into an alleyway that's dark. And you stand there for a moment. And then suddenly you hear the sound of footsteps running in your direction. And for just a second, you think that they're going to find you, that you think that they're going to see you, but they walk right past. And they keep going. So you let out a sigh of relief. And you look down in your hand and you see this gold pendant that's engraved with the symbol of Andor. And in the middle of it, there's this beautiful light blue jewel that sits right in the center. And it seems to be radiating some sort of energy. I can't tell what it is, but you're about to look further into it until you hear a voice in your head.
Oh no.
What made you think that was a good idea?
Not sure I did it because it was a good idea. I'm pretty sure I did it to piss you off. Did it work?
It didn't piss me off, per se. Because of you, you have not only broken the seal that holds the power of the gods, but you have also revealed the location of Andor, of your people. Who about Ravn?
I mean, can we really call them my people? Not important. Are you gonna keep talking? Is there a point to this?
There is a point. Because you like to act impulsively, people are going to perish. And let me guess, is money more important to you? Money and drinking, it seems.
Well, the money is for the drinking, and the drinking is to keep you quiet, so.
Yes, of course. Why do you do the things that you do, Vala? Why?
Because you keep telling me what I should do, and I don't want to.
You do realize that alcohol is not going to make me go away, right? In fact, it kind of fuels me a little bit.
Well, it makes it harder to hear, and that's the part that's important.
But it gives me more control over you because you have less control over your own self.
So we're stuck in this loop. How's that working out? You gonna
So how about this? Let me make it simpler for you, Vala. How about this? Either you give back the medallion or you keep it.
I'll give it back if you get out of my head.
Now, this is genuinely not a biased decision on whatever you make. I will support you 100%. No questions asked.
Makes it even worse when you
Do I lie?
Supportive.
Do I lie?
You don't. You don't. You find every other way to be a pain in my ass other than lying.
You did this to yourself.
I was born this way.
There were many opportunities for you to get rid of me, but because you were so power hungry, and because you were so selfish, and because you were so evil, I keep finding reasons to stay.
That's an abstract idea. There's no such thing as good or evil.
There's plenty.
There's survival,
evil,
and then there's being prey.
Yeah. Okay. And say that to all the people that you've lost thus far because of your actions. Or have you forgot?
Am I supposed to weep because they couldn't keep up?
So selfish.
Alright, so I've got this medallion thing, and apparently it's bad news. Right? How much is it worth? Can you at least tell me that much?
If I tell you, you're not going to give it back.
Probably not, but now I'm not inclined to give it back because you won't tell me. See how this works?
If you ask me one question, if you answer me one question.
Fine. Deal. I'll answer you one question.
Is there anything that you regret in your life? Anything at all?
Yeah, but then I realized that regretting things doesn't help. Just gotta keep moving.
Care to tell me what it is? I haven't ran into it in this noggin of yours.
I regret the first time I let the wings out. That's when people started to tell that I was different. And that's when they started to bombard me with all the saving the day or healing people or doing whatever the fuck they think somebody like me is supposed to do. Just because
What
I
are
have
you
to-
supposed to do?
I don't know. I know what I want to do, and nobody wants to let me do it.
The thing is that you are different. Regardless of how many things you do to make yourself feel normal, you are different. And that's something that's not going to change.
Yeah, some angel knocked up my mom. Great. Now I'm this. Awesome.
That medallion is worth probably 10,000 gold.
Oh. Oh, this is good news. Oh, buddy.
Mm-hmm. You have 10,000 gold in your hands.
Well, once I find somewhere to fence it, then I'll have 10,000 gold. Might have to take a loss on the top. All right.
So you're going to keep it.
I'm going to sell it.
Okay.
Yeah, he's.
Are you
just-
sure? Are you positive?
Oh my god, this is why I drink. That right there, that's why I drink.
Here's the thing. You would be 10 times more lonely than you already are if I weren't in your head constantly talking.
I'm not lonely. I don't get lonely. I
Yes,
get
you do.
annoyed.
I see your dreams. I see your dreams all the time.
People who have connections move slower. That's the way of it.
That I can agree with you on.
So I'm caught in a burning building. I only got one person to get out. That's the way I figure it.
Fine. I guess we should keep moving.
Absolutely. Look, there is no we. Stop talking. You don't exist.
I do exist. More than
Oh my. All right. First thing we do with that 10,000 is we refill this bad boy. All right, let's go.
And when you walk out of that alleyway, you start to walk down the street in the rain, and it's hitting your face again. And just like everyone else's, yours starts to dissipate into nothing.
Oh shit. Just falls in the darkness.
And that is where we are going to take our 10. So, take bio breaks, do the thing, stand up and stretch, and we will see y'all in 10 minutes.
Woo!
right. Welcome back to Andor. We hope you had a wonderful break. I know we did. So let's get back into it. Some very heavy stuff just happened for each of our players. And we are going to continue on with the story of Andor. So, after all of your memories have kind of dissipated into darkness, some of you come back into the cavern of Ravn, but Revna and Vala, you do not. In fact, you're pretty lifeless right now, and Jean and Oswin, you two gain consciousness again. And you see Cal still standing there as he was before. But when you look at Cal, you notice that his eyes are a lot more sunken than before, and the black veins that you've seen numerous times are on his skin. And he's starting to become corroded with the curse, as you can tell. And he walks towards the both of you, and he's like, so you see, all of your negligence has led to the demise of your people. Now, Ravn wanted peace and security. You took that away from his followers. So now you have to pay. Any last words?
Highness?
What?
Kindness. It's what you have not shown us so far. So if killing you is what must be done, I will personally be the one to do it. And then I'm going to shoot an arrow. Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Okay, can the both of you roll initiative for me? And Vala and Revna roll initiative for me? I promise it'll make sense.
What is wrong with our friends? Hey!
Honestly, Vala might just be taking a nap.
It's
11. I got an 11.
Okay.
I got a 20.
Okay.
All right, I got a 16.
Wait, oh, that, What did you get, Jean?
19.
There we go.
I was like, what? Okay.
D&D Beyond. Bum, 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 bum.
Okay, so it looks like Oswin, you are actually getting the first turn, and you are going to be shooting an arrow.
Yes! This time I'm gonna hit him too.
Yeah, you are.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Yes! I think I rolled at least like 4 twos tonight. It's ridiculous. Does an 8 hit?
No. So when that happens, suddenly, he starts to get a wicked smile on his face, and these fangs start to grow and grow and grow, but it gets to a point where they grow through his bottom lip because they're so long. And his human form starts to slowly turn into something hideous. And it's, the best way I can describe it is like one of those creatures off of RE7, if you've ever played it before, those kind of tar monsters. Only It's that mixed with black feathers kind of just protruding from random places. And this black substance just starts to leak from his skin onto the floor. And with a huge breath, he opens his mouth and out comes the sound of a raven, only it's amplified like by 20. And pretty soon a swarm of black birds just starts like flying around you and kind of encapsulating you in this just dome of birds that just keep flying around and around. It looks like they're not going to attack. They're just kind of circling. So, the next victim is Jean.
Jean is going to pull out his maul and get between the others and this thing. And he is going to just start praying a little bit to himself. And then he's going to look at this thing and go, I've made a promise. You're not about to stop it. And he's going to channel divinity. So he's going to imbue his weapon with the property of sacred weapon.
Okay.
So it's going to start glowing and emitting bright light for about 20 feet around him and dim light another 20 feet beyond that. It doesn't blind him, obviously, as part of the effect, but if the creature's sensitive to light, just so you know. And yeah, that actually takes up my actual action. But I can use a bonus action, I will, to also cast... perfect. To also cast Divine Favor on myself.
Okay.
So, I have both of those effects simultaneous.
Okay, cool. And is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Vala. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. Actually, no. A Death saving throw. Sorry.
What the fuck? I mean, okay, yeah, cool. That's awesome. I love that for me. Let me just die real quick. All right. Yep, that'll do it. Oh, I'm dying. All right, here we go. Let's see if I make it. All right, yay. 1 success.
Sure. All right. Revna, make a death saving throw for me.
13. So how do I know if it's been a while?
That's a success.
Okay.
10 or
it's
more
been
is
a
a
while.
success. 9 or below, that's a failure. If you
Okay.
roll a 20, you automatically come back with 1 HP, and if you roll a 1, that's 2 failures.
Whew, okay, thank you. Sorry, I've different
you're
systems in my brain.
You good? Okay. So, when he sees Oswin and John start to attack, he is going to he's gonna move probably 10 feet 10 feet forward, and he's going to stick one of the ravens at Oswin. So does a 19 hit? Okay. Let me do this damage real quick. So you take 9 points of damage.
But Heart the Raven.
Quote the Raven.
Quote the Raven.
Nevermore. Okay.
Nevermore.
Looks like we're back at the top of the round. With
Don't get you, the pendulum will.
if the pit don't get you, then the pendulum, will, bro.
will.
Oh no.
Pendulum will.
The pendulum will.
No.
Oh no.
Pendulum will.
No.
Okay, I'm going to go and try to shoot another arrow at its behind. So let's see if I hit this time. Wow.
All right, I gotta ask a question. Has Oswin hit anything?
Yeah, when we were in the forest.
Yes, he has.
Okay, because I don't think Mala has hit a goddamn thing either. So I'm trying to figure out what it is.
I've literally gotten 2s on every single roll tonight. Okay, well that did not hit. So he's going to run. Oh, it was a 8 again. Yeah, that's like my 5th 2 tonight. He's going to run and hide behind Vala's body.
You mother. What? Wait 1 second. Okay, now I'm ready. Are you motherfucking kidding me?
There it is.
And that's going to end his turn.
He has it ready.
It was ready.
This is some bullshit. And I'm a bad guy? Out of here.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god.
There it is.
Darn,
There it
it's your
is.
turn.
How far is this thing in front of me?
Probably like, now that it moved up a little bit, it's probably like 10 or 15 feet away.
Okay. John's going to take that maul and go running up and go for a big upswing right up into whatever I'm viewing as its head.
Okay.
Swing for the fences. Scooby-Doo.
I thought you were about to start like
Plus 6,
scatting.
2.
Beep bop.
I'm a scat man! Does a 24 hit? I'm mad. Very mad.
Wait, hold on. Did they say no?
Yeah, it hits.
Okay.
I was about
No
I
more.
would ask you out.
Y'all are level 4s. I would not do that to y'all.
No more. I thought you were on fire for a second. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I've got to
Just
get
the
this
instance.
burning.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, 11
Help me
regular
use that
damage,
saves.
but then, hold on. I also got to roll extra because divine favor. 11 regular damage and 3 radiant damage. John's mad.
So,
Get its ass.
when you uppercut its head, it kind of deforms a little bit, and like a chunk of just black flesh just kind of, and it's just onto the ground, and it's just like, and just like making all of these like bird-like noises, and like kind of just, just like that.
Right.
It's not.
As you do.
It's not doing great. Let's put it that way. Okay. Vala, make another death save.
Like that, would you? All right. Let's do it. Let's see what's in store for you. That's a fail. That's a fail. Me sideways. All right. One success, one failure. Here we go.
Ooh.
Everybody had a sad memory moment, but he kills me, so that's great.
Only fitting.
Okay.
What'd you say?
Go ahead and make. I'm so sorry. Go ahead and make a death save.
Okay, are we still trapped in the memory?
Y'all trapped in the darkness, not the memory.
Yeah, we get killed.
What did we do? Wait, what? What?
I'll say this one.
Y'all, do you want to know what you did?
What?
Yeah, I want to know what I didn't do a thing.
Was I not supposed to take his hand?
You were not supposed to take his hand. Vala,
I knew it!
I gave you the ultimatum of returning the medallion, and you didn't. Oswin.
Do I still have a sweet medallion?
No.
I knew it. I knew it! I knew it!
Oswin, you chose kindness over all else. And you remember the words of your mother. And Jean, you basically granted your father's dying wish, and that was very honorable. So
I'm still just stuck on the fact that this dude's dying because he chose the chain.
All because I loved it. No, all because I loved this.
I love you.
Don't trust
The
love.
GM is punishing me for having drip.
Don't trust love.
I gotta have big old chunk, y'all mean?
Yami,
Y'all mean?
Yahweh.
GM trying to punish me for flexing on me.
Punished because I love him? Because I love him?
Choose kindness, not love.
Can you make a death save?
Nothing about that was kind.
You're right.
Nothing about that was kind.
What was kind?
I punished the drip. I punished.
GM like, ooh, your character looking too fly. Death saves.
Yeah.
5.
Oh my god, we both succeeded in being
Could you prep the button for me, Noir?
Oh, okay, yeah, go for
Ready?
it.
Okay, you ready? Okay. Holy
Goat.
because of love. This is what you get for trusting a man. This is what you get.
You can. I was about to say you can end the sentence right there.
This is what you
This
get
is what you get for trusting
for
a man.
trusting a man.
It's what you get. I've been telling you this for years. 11 years. 11.
Man,
This is
ain't shit.
You know, to
Amazing.
quote the great poet, Lynn Haley, that's what you get when you let your heart win. Oh, E-O-O.
Could you
I
please do a
love
chant
the
for a
vowels.
second? Could you
I'm
do the
sorry.
chant? Noir,
Was that
can
a
you do the Noir
goddamn
chant?
Paramore reference?
You goddamn right it was. 'Cause that's what you get when you let your heart win.
You brought Haley. You brought Haley into this.
But can you bring Missy
Right.
B in there? Can you bring the chant back?
Give me my anthem.
Thank you. That's my lifeblood every session. I need to hear it.
And the sacred writing on the side of the longsword says, "German
Anthem.
What you get for falling in love.
Every day we stray further from God's light. Every day.
Goddamn day.
Your gods can't handle my drip.
So,
I should have gone to college. I just
Not worth
instead I'm doing this.
it. Not worth it.
it's really
I had so many opportunities.
And I'm still
really not
here.
worth it.
The three of
I
us went
promise you.
together, and we're all still here.
We all still ended up here.
Yeah, we just hear
Falling in love with the damn man.
I'm just hearing those student loans. Oh, Sally Mae. All right, let's keep going.
That's the truth.
Yes.
Sally Mae. Anyway, okay, so because of Jean basically yeeting half of
its skull.
its skull, I mean, it's obviously going to go for you. So here we go.
Cool. Good. It's fine.
Does a 17 hit?
Son of a...
You hear the spite in which that question was asked?
You know why? Because you know what my AC is?
17.
16.
Ooh.
What you get for trusting men. That's what you get for trusting men.
That's what you let your heart weigh.
All right. So that's gonna be 12 points of damage.
Fine.
So, this time instead of one raven, he's gonna get a cluster, and he's gonna raise one of his like arms and just do like a slashing motion, and like this bullet of just black feathers and birds just starts coming towards you, and it just starts picking at all kinds of parts of your body, and that's 12 damage.
Yeah.
You want to say it out loud, Josh?
This feels like reverse racism.
I did bang. I couldn't get there in time. I tried to save you.
That's what it is.
This is why we don't trust men. This is why we don't trust men.
That's what I get.
Drowned out all my sense with the sounds of its beating.
Back at the top of the round.
It's the fact that he keeps building on it. That's really the best part. Like, by the time the stream ends, he's just gonna have the whole song lined up.
I'm not even looking up the lyrics.
He's gonna dip into other songs. He's gonna end up in other songs. He's gonna have I'm in the business of misery. Let's take it from the top.
No, sir, I don't want to be the blade. Not anymore. Okay, so I think it's your turn. So take a seat and settle in the final score.
Maybe this could be the only exception where we get back to the...
God, I was about to say that one!
Because I can't let go of what's in front of me here, you know? So...
Right.
Back at the top of the round, we have Oswin.
Oh.
This mother chose kindness, he ain't dead.
Get fucked. Oswin's gonna like peek over Vala's body at the enemy, go back down, raise up his short bow, and shoot another arrow.
You better
Pray to God if you roll a fucking one. No. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I have not heard him.
I got now one.
I have not heard you scream like that since like 11th grade. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
I don't think I'm fine.
How much damage do I take?
I hope it's you.
God, it's a 3-on-1.
Ravn's the one who gets hit.
Honestly, just...
Not even in the way.
Honestly, can you believe? We crossed the world while it's asleep. I never traded in, because I've always wanted this. Man, and it's not a dream anymore.
I've been muted this entire time, but I was screaming.
Screaming. Okay.
Please, GM, tell us what happens. Surely something good.
Yeah.
So because you
Choose
got
kindness.
So because
She's kind.
Using my corpse as a goddamn leverage. What lesson in kindness is that? I missed that episode of Sesame Street. And when your buddies die, you just use them as camouflage. That must have been one of the Super Grover episodes I missed.
this thing doesn't. He left. I'm gonna just be transparent. Y'all can do this, I promise.
I don't know if we can.
know it, okay? So, Oswin, as you took the power of kindness, and you remember the sunflower pendant that your mother gave you, you get to have advantage.
Hey.
Power of friendship, power of love, power of kindness.
Love. Choose love, not men.
Are you still using my body?
Choose love, not men.
Yes. Hey, there we go. Does a 23 hit?
No, absolutely it does. What?
Wait, who are you? What, me?
No!
Oh.
This bitch over here!
Cause I'm sorry. I got a flock of ravens in my cornhole, but he gets kindness?
Oh, you literally dealt 14 points of damage. You are fine.
Look, I don't want to hear anything
Humble
from anybody.
thyself.
Maybe if you weren't so busy antagonizing people over a gold chain.
What did I do? What did I do then?
You trusted men!
I trusted a man that I had
trusted a
grown up
man!
with. No, Ravna grew up with this man and fell in love with him over a course of a long time. This has been a lifelong
And
connection.
is
Put camera A on me. Put camera A on me. I want you all to look me in my I want y'all to look me in my eyes right now, okay? I will always choose drift. All right, I don't care. I don't care. If I gotta die to look fly, I'll do it.
Okay.
Go to the
Are
camera.
those your last words?
I always choose drift, mother.
Hey, Tenny.
Yes.
Hey, Tenny. My next example for men ain't shit.
Yeah.
It just spoke.
I'm also going to attack with my sneak attack as well.
There you go.
And I'll roll my damage.
Yo, damn
Go
it.
ahead and roll your damage. Go ahead. With the power of kindness.
Power of kindness. Oh,
Power of
15
kindness, but not love.
15
Power of
damage.
kindness.
15.
Yes. And then I'm going
How
to
do
use
you-
my bonus action. Wait, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hold that thought. Jean, can you roll an attack roll for me?
Can. Like weapon swing attack roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 19.
Okay. So how do you and Oswin want to finish this?
Hey!
I'll give it to both of you.
Nice.
I will say because Vala is in the way, I couldn't really see, so I accidentally swing up, hit one of the ravens, and it's gonna fly down, and the beak is going to go through his eye.
Fine, I can work with that.
Obviously.
I can work with that. Gets impaled and stuck there, and then I come in and swing and smash the bird into its face.
Sneak attack. Sneak attack.
That's what you get.
So
When you let your heart.
No.
Yeah.
We're moving forward.
slowly but surely, the ravens that have been circling all of you start to come down onto this thing that used to be Cal, and they just start ravaging it. They start tearing it apart. They start feeding off of it everything that you can think of until it is quite literally like a small puddle on the floor. Now, you all have got rid of the main threat, but you haven't gotten rid of the ravens yet. So, Vala, go ahead and make a death save for me.
Here we go.
We're gonna be puddles on the floor.
All right, 16. One more success. I just need one more, and then I'll stabilize.
Okay, how much? What are they at? -1
For what?
for their health,
The
or
ravens?
are they just making? No, dude. the dead ones.
We have names.
Words. Ravna and Vala.
Ravala.
Ravioli.
God dang
they're
it.
at -1, yes.
Okay. Well, how close are they to one another?
I mean, they're pretty close, like 5 feet away from each other.
Okay, like if I was in between them, could I reach out to each of them?
Of course, it's to use.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll up in between and lay on hands and give each one 2 points of health and try and pull them back from the brink.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the drip has returned.
The drip caused the end of the world.
You have no idea how
other-
much I want to say correction. 1 hand, 4 HP. I'm not gonna, but you have no idea.
The drip is here and it ain't going back.
The drip caused the end of the world.
Of everyone.
Don't nobody know that. Get out of my memories. Focus on what y'all did wrong.
Oh, Noir. Do the Missy B. Elliott thing, and I'll forget that it happened. Okay.
So what happened, Josh?
I used lay on hands to heal. I can heal. Okay, so with lay on hands, I can touch a creature to restore any number of HP remaining in the pool I have, or up to a certain stock, which I have a stock of 20 HP I can give out between rests. Or if someone is poisoned or affected by like a disease, I can do a 5 HP shot or 5 HP out of the pool to specifically remove poison or a disease.
Gotcha. Okay.
So basically, if they're like still under a mental effect, that wouldn't break, but I can at least pull them out of negative HP.
Okay. So Ravna and Vala, you start feeling the energy of life enter back into your bodies, and the both of you wake up with a gasp, and you look around and you see Oswing, you see Jean, and you see that the ravens are kind of clustering in this little group in front of you, and you have no context of what's happening. You both are very weak, but you all have been brought back to life.
Ow. What needs killing?
What's happening?
We already handled it. That was your buddy.
Cal?
Sure.
And now we have his ravens to take care of. So, yeah.
Can I start walking over to Cal?
Sure. I mean, it's your. It's your turn. So,
is the body on the ground, or like what's happening again with them?
So like they've eaten it to the point where it's not really like a body anymore, but it's just like a puddle of just this black substance that his skin was made out of.
Oh shit! So no pockets.
I was about to say, I'm going to let you know something now. If you're about to loot the black goo for a wallet and you take damage and go back into negative HP, I'm not picking you back up. You will roll those death saves.
Nobody else is.
You will roll those death saves.
We've all got a fatal flaw. Okay, we've all got a
I'm
fatal
just
flaw.
letting you know. You will roll those death saves. I will sit and watch.
Wow, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
Revna's is men. That's her fatal flaw. Apparently, Callum, one particular man, and Vala's is greed.
I'm not greedy. I'm just trying to get what I'm owed. All right. Anyway. I'm just gonna flirting firebolt at these ravens. Like, get out of here. Birds. Wow, 11. That didn't do well. That was a warning shot. I'm warming up. I started to be warmed up, but then I got killed, unfortunately, but now I'm warming up again. So we gonna get there. Does that 11 hit? Alright, I'm gonna use my bonus action for a second wind.
Go for it.
Oh, come on, it was attitude. All right, I'll take it. So that puts me up health wise. And yeah, I'll end my turn after that.
All right. So now we have Revna. Wow.
Sorry, I was struggling with the mute button.
Good.
Well, I suppose so these birds, are they like clustered now after that, or
It's like, imagine like a school of fish kind of just like working,
Okay.
like flying with each other. It's basically the same image.
okay, I'm gonna try to use, which I haven't used this before, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna try and use Ensnaring Strike. Thorny vines will appear at the point of impact. The target must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained. Could that happen so that the thorns kind of try and grab all the
Intertwine.
ravens?
And all the ravens? Yeah, you can try that.
Okay. And that's a spell, so that just, I don't have to roll a hit. Is that right, or do I?
You do have to roll a
take
hit.
a shot, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to hit with like a regular shot kind of thing. Okay. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay. 15.
It does hit.
Oh, she finally hits something. Okay. Okay, so 2 damage.
2? Okay.
And it says for features and traits, which I don't know if this applies, but it's like +2 since whenever I use a bow. Would that
Yeah,
apply?
that applies. Yeah.
Okay. So
4.
2, or 4, I mean? 4.
Okay. Cool. Does that end your turn?
And then for a bonus action?
Oh, come on, bonus act. Yes.
Bonus action. Okay,
I'll laugh riff.
I'm sorry, I'm stressed. I riff when I'm stressed.
I do too. That's fine.
Let us do some. Well, hold on. I lied to you. We're gonna stick with this.
You sure?
Because I can. Well, okay, hold on a second. Sorry.
No, you're good. Take your time.
Let's just go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do Zephyr Strike as a bonus action because it looks like it can, which is strange, but I don't play Ranger that often.
No, you're
So it'll just basically, once before the spell ends, you move like the wind. Once before the spell ends, you can give yourself advantage on 1 weapon attack roll. Oh, so that's something I should have done beforehand. Oh, but it still includes the speed, so that's what she would. Sorry, I've never used this one before. Let's just have her use her movement to go towards the ensnared ravens if they're ensnared.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not gonna use Zephyr Strike this time, sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. Okay. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Alright. Where's it at? There it is. Okay, so When these thorned vines kind of just start going in between all these ravens, you just hear these screeches just start to happen almost in a cacophony. But that clearly pisses them off. So, because of that, they're going to take a shot at you, Ravna. So.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't think about the fact that we only have 2 health right now.
Who is this we that you're talking about?
I think you have 2 health, right?
Oh. Ugh.
Because we dropped down to death save, so we were at 0.
Yeah, I'm at 14.
How are you
He healed
at 14?
himself. He healed himself. Yeah.
I've lost my mind. Okay. It's fine. I'm at.
Don't put that evil on me, Ravna.
I know. I'm really sorry. I was over here trying to read about the ensnare, and I'm like, what?
Wait, I rolled the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Hold on.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Does a 7 hit?
I'm not gonna die. No.
Okay. So one of the ravens, like, just shoots from this group, and you know, we're gonna call it a murder because that's what it's called. Group of ravens, more than 3.
You're way too proud of that.
Okay, so one of them flies from this group of ravens. I'm not going to say it because I've been shamed. And
I'm gonna be the bird nerd here, and I apologize in advance. A group of crows is called a raven. A group of crows is called a murder. A group of ravens is called an unkindness.
So what you're saying is they didn't choose kindness.
No, ravens
So
woke
wait.
up and chose violence.
What? Okay. I've never known the difference between a crow
An
and a raven.
unkindness and of ravens. The difference is ravens say nevermore.
Bree once played a raven in a show. They know. They've been there, and you just brought them back. You brought them back, and I don't know when they're gonna return, but maybe we should,
All around me a familiar face.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I know it's 2 different songs. We're just gonna do it.
Okay, I'm back. So, one of the ravens. It's funny because I played the Raven in Nightfall with Edgar Allan Poe. Jacques played Edgar Allan Poe. Penny played
Sante.
what was his name? Sante from Pit and the Pendulum.
Oh, okay, different show. That's why I was sitting here like, the only characters should be Edgar Allan Poe and the Raven. What's left? The chair?
It was like a. It was like a.
She was just on stage like this.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, basically.
That's on me. So,
Drag me.
It was like 4 different shows. Okay, let's clear that up.
okay, no, it was all of Edgar Allan Poe's like most famous stories made into plays, basically.
It was a lot.
It
If
was
the
a
pit
lot.
don't get you,
And the pendulum will.
pendulum will.
You didn't say that, though.
If the pit don't get you,
Don't get you. Then the
then
pendulum
the
will.
pendulum will.
Down, down, down.
Oh, I forgot.
Round, around, around. Anyway, okay, so the Raven misses. Back to the top of the damn round. Odwin, we will get through this fight. We will get through this fight. Say it with me. We will get
through.
through. No one's saying it.
I'm here.
Ravens didn't
I'm
have to
here
kill to get
for
through
it.
it. Oslin's going to take a shot at a raven.
A singular Raven?
Any of them.
One Raven.
Just one raven. Just one.
Just one out of like the 20. Just one.
He can only shoot one arrow.
Do better, okay? Do better. Use
Does
the
a
power of
14 hit?
kindness. Yes, it does hit.
Hey, be kind.
Be kind.
And that raven takes 7 damage.
That raven falls to the ground.
Hey! And
One
then
down.
he's going to use his bonus action to. He's going to run up behind Bala, jump on his back, and hide there. Gonna use a hide.
Are you? What? Are you? You kidding me?
Little halfling just.
Should have been kinder.
Should have been cut.
This for that little girl.
I'm ready in the melee with this mother on my back.
Hold on. I'm gonna roll something really quick.
I don't like when you say that. Bad things always happen to me when you roll.
No, it has nothing to do with y'all. Anyway, okay. Jean, it's your turn.
I guess I'm gonna swing at the ball o' birds and see what I come up with.
For it.
Why not? Does a 24 hit a bird
No.
just flying around?
No.
All right. I deal a total of that. I still have all the buffs and stuff. So D10 plus 2, 12 damage.
You get rid of a good majority of them.
Okay,
You
good.
hear "Squawk," and then literally they just like fall to the ground. Rip. Ball, it's your turn.
R.I.P. birds.
Rip.
They would have loved to
Oh,
fly.
I was gonna go hard, but it looks like y'all did most of the work for me. So like, how many birds are there?
Probably like that was a good amount of damage, so there's probably like 7 or 8 left.
Oh, there's still quite a few birds. All right, I'm gonna activate my radiant soul. So my eyes are gonna go full golden, and gold and silver rings sprout from my back. And I'm going to fly towards the birds, and that will be my turn.
Okay. Ravna.
With Oswald on my back. Now 30 feet in the air. That's what happens. What we learn.
little sunflower baby. Just
Little sunflower baby. He'll do it again.
Pop, pop.
We don't learn lessons.
Oh, man.
all right, Ravna, it's your turn.
Okay, now we're going to use a bonus action to do Zephyr Strike. Yeah, she'll start with the Zephyr Strike so that she can use her movement to try and get a little farther back because she's like right up on them now, right? Because she moved closer to them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she'll try and like get a little distance so that she can aim better, and she's gonna try to attack with disadvantage.
Wait, with disadvantage?
With advantage.
Oh.
Okay. That one? Nope. That one's a 16 so 18 to hit. Does that hit them?
Yes, it absolutely does hit.
Okay. And then for D8 for extra. So 4 damage for the extra, and then for a normal attack with the bow, 1d8 plus 3. So 12 damage of piercing.
All right, how would you like to take out the rest of these birds?
As soon as she moves further back to try and get that aim, she'll lock an arrow and just kind of take a breath to clear her head, like Eric taught her, like her brother taught her.
Who's got a whole ass family? Whole ass family.
Yeah. She's developed.
no more.
She's really developed. God. No, and she's just gonna let the arrow fly with the ensnaring strike attached to it, so that when it hits the cluster of ravens, it or not ensnaring strike, zephyr strike, it hits it with such a speed that the cluster just goes. Poof. Yeah, it's really eloquent. Yeah.
Okay. And that puts you all out of initiative. So once the ravens are gone, it's very quiet in the cavern. And Calliope's body is still laying there. Would you all like to leave it, or would you like to go over to it and make sure this is like a better opportunity to check to see if you want to do another medicine check? Yeah,
I'll check again.
Okay.
I'm gonna just whisper to Oswin, since we're still in the air, 2 gold to get you down safely.
You say 2 gold?
Oswin, jump! I'll catch you. Jump.
He kind of glares at you while he's like pulling out an arrow.
I'll go higher.
And then he just backflips off.
I'm gonna catch him. Can I catch him?
You better roll a damn stealth check.
Stealth?
Wait, strength. Do strength check.
Strength? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just gracefully land.
Can I roll acrobatics to see if I gracefully land before she lets me down?
12.
Oh, thank God. 21.
Ooh, okay. So it's kind of a combined effort.
Can
Revna
we like bounce
struggles.
off of her head? It just like does another like roll to like.
Revna struggles a little bit, but she manages to catch you. But it's one of those things where you end up like sitting on her shoulders because it was a 21 and it was just so graceful. You're like, oh, and you kind of just like catch him, and now he's just sitting on your shoulders.
His legs are like crossed and he's like crossing his arms.
Around my neck? Around my neck.
No.
Okay. Okay.
We're gonna
landed in a triangle choke.
Oswin, you wanna go down?
Thank you for the assistance. And
Of
then
course.
he just like rolls back
So
on.
I rolled a 16 on the medicine check
Okay.
to see if the little girl is alive while he's trying to snap her neck.
So like, are you just trying to like see if she's breathing or anything? See if she's breathing or anything?
See if she's breathing, or while we're at, see if she's breathing. For now, see if she's breathing, check for any signs of life, and see if there's anything like, even if she's not, if there's anything weird that stands out with a 16.
Okay. So as you get closer to her, you start to go in to check her pulse and see if her chest is rising and falling. And then suddenly Calliope startles awake. And when she sees you, she kind of like scrambles back further away from you. And she's looking at all of you and she's just like terrified.
It's okay. It's okay. We
Be not afraid.
took care of him.
Yeah, be not afraid for people.
Have you ever met a child before?
Yeah,
Like even
but
one?
Yeah, but that's what we're supposed to say when we got these out.
Okay.
Part of the script.
It looks
Yeah, he just got these big, massive fucking wings.
All of us but him can be trusted.
Sorry, that just took me out. I'm sorry.
Too busy
Anyway.
taking the 2 coins and shoving them up his ass. I can't deal with this.
Okay, so Jean is gonna. He's like, you can see my hands. He's taken care of. Just he's gonna reach into like the satchel or the pouch he has kind of on the back of his armor, and flip it open and pull out a hunk of bread. It's like, have you eaten? Are you okay? Are you hurt? Are you hungry? No? Okay. Just, it's safe. It's okay. You're fine. You don't have to worry. We've got you now.
Where's my dad?
I don't know who your dad is, so I'm not perfectly sure how to answer that question. They might, but he's gonna look back. Is anyone?
We're just.
Oh my gosh, Revna will come up to you slowly, and just like get down on a knee next to Jean. And just asks, "Who's your dad?"
His name is Magnus.
Magnus is the man we saw on the bench. Jean.
Okay.
Is he okay?
Your dad is okay where he is. But our important situation, we've got to handle this situation.
Hey, are we sure that's
I said
run up to Vala.
He is okay where he is right now.
Oh, I see what we're doing.
Okay, we're gonna figure it all out. For now, what's important is we're somewhere dangerous, and I need you to trust me because we've got to get you out of here. Do you think you can do that?
Leave.
Who told you?
I don't know his name.
Did he say why not to leave?
He'll hurt me.
Okay. If it's the man we just took care of, I promise you he can't hurt you anymore.
Where's Cal?
Oh boy.
Cal wouldn't happen to be the one who said not to leave, would he?
Yes.
Okay. Cal had something going on with him, and he turned into a monster. But we defeated him.
Okay.
Look. And he's going to take his two little hand axes and put them down on the ground. I promise you, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm not trying to hurt you. I promise I will keep you safe.
Can I insight check the kid?
Go for it.
Nat 20.
Oh, nice.
She's a little girl who's scared.
And what's her disposition towards each of us? Like, who seems to be getting through the most?
I would think Revna and Jean are the closest.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see Oswin and Vala a little bit back. Or are you still in the air, aren't you?
No, I gracefully landed. I'm standing there, wings out.
Then yeah, you're probably like a little ways, like a little bit back with Oswin.
Okay. Well, we got a kid. What do we do now? And also, can I get some of that bread?
Well, I was about to say, I'm going to look around the chamber. What the surroundings, now that we have a chance to properly take stock. Yeah. What am I looking at around this?
It's the best way I can describe it. the walls of the cavern are carved into the shape of birds kind of like coming out at various positions. And in the middle, where Calliope and Cal were, it was kind of like these tiny little steps that went up to like an elevation where it seems like something was being done in the center of this cavern. It's almost like a ritual kind of place. There's not any like other doorways to rooms or anything like that. It's just this huge open cave that seems to be dedicated to, like, you know, obviously Ravn and his ritual space. Ooh.
So there's no exit walking around the sides of the room or anything?
Right. And I mean, there's also the way that, oh yeah, y'all appeared into this cavern. So, but y'all can look behind you.
All right. I'm going to make a perception check.
Can
Okay.
I make a... Oh, sorry.
So I made a perception check and I rolled a 6. So I've heard of a cave.
Stone. That's it.
Once before.
Not even.
Someone once mentioned that
caves?
caves are a thing.
What are caves? What are they? Who knows? I think you're too focused on Calliope at this point.
Yeah, I would say I'm focusing on the kid and can't really gather all that.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone else want to make a perception check?
Sure.
Can I also make a history check on like the etchings on the ground or like whatever ritualistic things we see?
Sure.
To see if I like remember them from that group in SCAD when we visited them.
Yep.
Got an 8.
Got a 25.
Ooh.
Well, I'm glad someone can see.
So Oswin, as you look around this cavern, you see that there are a lot of dark corners in this place because of how big it is, and the only light that's coming from anywhere is like I described in the beginning when you all first got here, and the ceiling part is like an opening, like a circle, and the moon is shining directly into this cavern. So it's basically just the moonlight, and it's very interesting because it's the only place on the isle that the sky is visible. It's almost as if, you know, it's like that on purpose for the sake of the moonlight. And you happen to see a door behind y'all. Or a
Oh, it's behind us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Quick question, if I can. So there's like an opening out here, and we can see the sky, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to use the last bit of time on my wings to fly straight up to see if I can see any ships on the island.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right.
I also got a 9 on the history thing.
Okay. So they look familiar.
Come on.
But you, ooh, damn.
You've heard of ships?
You've heard of ships? What are wings? What are...
While he's up there, he's too busy going, I should be looking for ships, but I wonder how far I can get before I leave these motherfuckers.
Oh my.
Wow.
Damn.
Someone stop him, please. But Revna, they're familiar to you, but you're having a hard time remembering their specific meanings, but you know at least they're used for ritualistic purposes. That's it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Seems we stopped a ritual here, obviously. But did you all also experience those visions? Just memories?
If that's what we're going to call it.
Yes.
What?
Memories.
Did you experience?
No, that's nobody's goddamn business.
I'm just saying memories often remain raw even longer than wounds. And that's what they're using against us. Obviously, it got through to some of us.
Well, I'd like to say we should stay here longer, but we have to go. Because I feel like Mr. Valhalla is not going to stay gone for long. I don't want to. Wait, what is his name? Ravn. Ravn is what I'm trying to say.
Valhalla.
He's nervous. He's nervous. So we have to go out that door, preferably.
That door? Okay. You take the lead there. Do I have any memory of what happened to that sweet ass gym I had that one time?
You can make a check for it. What would that be?
Intelligence check?
It's history check.
19? After that sweet ass chain I had that one time.
It was taken from you.
Somebody snatched my chain?
Or did he sell it? Did he sell it for the 2 gold coins?
He didn't sell it. He didn't get a chance to. Someone took it from him.
Do I remember who snatched my chain? Because now
you could not recognize their face. Like you didn't.
What? You doing this to me, Bree?
Oh my gosh.
Getting way too much mileage out of that.
Too much. So much.
So you put the people in Andor in danger for someone to steal it.
Yeah, that's... Well, nobody needs to know about that first part. The only thing people need to know is I had a sweet ass chain and somebody took it. I'm the victim here.
Jean, do you need any help with Calliope? Calliope, will you come with us?
Who are all of you?
My name's Ravna. She's gonna extend a hand, like very, very gently and slowly.
And she does that awkward kid thing where she just like takes it and then she drops her hand.
Baby.
I'm Jean.
Who's he? And then she points to Oswin.
I don't know if he can hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna say he can't, so he just looks back and just...
Eyes.
Do y'all need something?
That's Oswin. That's Oswin. Eyes.
Cracked out, just.
Here we go.
Is that Oswin or Rox? Which one is it?
All the above.
And Vala, are you still in the air? Or did you land again?
He glided.
He gracefully landed. He gracefully landed.
He gracefully landed. Then the wings sweep and then they vanish into a mist of sparkling gold and silver.
So it's a little dark, but Calliope's gonna walk up to you because
I emanate light when I'm like that, so I shine like a torch.
Okay, so she's gonna think you're Magnus because y'all look similar. And she's gonna walk up to you, and then she's gonna realize that it's not her father.
What's the problem, kid? Why is it staring at me? Why is it staring at me?
I'm gonna like tug on his arm. You better be nice to her.
Fuck that. I'm not. Nobody paid me to babysit.
If you are not nice to her, I will end you.
Hey, kid. I'm Vala. Yeah?
You'll have to excuse him. He doesn't know manners. I don't
know. I introduced myself and it's staying quiet at me.
I would avoid him.
She's not talking to me.
We will get you to your father as soon as we can, but we kind of have to go. Again, ignore this one, but those two will take great care of you.
I mean, that's fair. Don't ask me for nothing. Don't look at nothing. I'm not buying nothing.
You didn't do anything to begin with.
I'm not kidding you. Anything, all my food is my food.
Well, I have run with thieves all of my life. I was a thief all of my life, but I have never met any thief, as dishonorable as you.
Not dishonorable.
I'll have to second that one.
This child needs our help and our kindness.
John's gonna go up in front of Calliope and get down on one knee, and he's gonna, having grabbed back his hand axes, he's gonna take one, and he's gonna say, "Listen, I'm going to keep you safe, no matter what. But if I give you this until we get you to safety, can you hold it and just put the pointy end in front of you if something was to run at you? That's all I need you to do. I'll take care of the rest, okay?" Okay. He's gonna just hand it forward to her. It's a hand axe, obviously, so.
And when she grabs it, she kind of struggles a little bit because it's heavy, and she looks at it, and then she kind of just holds on to it.
Doing great. He's gonna grab out his big old hammer and say, "I got a bit of a bigger one." Okay. Don't worry. Nothing's getting through me, okay?
Am I the only one that remember we're not supposed to trust anything on this island? No?
I'll take that bet.
The vampire will take that bet.
That's on you, buddy.
Why don't we focus on...
Calliope's gonna look at Vala, and she's gonna be like, "Why are you so mean?"
Because being mean makes you faster.
Doesn't.
Well, on that,
let's get moving.
Awesome's gonna turn Vala around and be like, "You lead the way." And as he's doing that, can he make a sleight of hand check?
You gonna try and steal?
Can you make a strength check for that, Vala, please?
No.
Oh, I forget him.
18.
Strong.
Yeah. You pick his little ass up.
Throw you.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna throw you down a flight of stairs if you
And
keep jumping
Calliope
up.
just kind of smiles a little bit, but she just looks down.
As he's in his arms, he's just laying and trying to hit him in the face.
Hey, you stand behind me, okay? And Sean's gonna start walking towards the door because apparently someone has to.
I can, but I have a question first. Does anyone have any healing capabilities or health potions that they might be able to assist me with? I'm at... You do?
Yeah.
And Calliope does? Well,
Do you want me to do it?
you should save your strength.
Okay,
But thank you.
you're welcome.
Vala. I know you might charge me a ridiculous amount of coin, but would you be willing to heal me?
Oh, I thought you were just asking who has the capability of doing it.
Oh no, I'm at 2 HP. I need some help.
Oh,
She needs some help.
He kind of shows you his hand glowing, and when his hands glow, his eyes glow again. Yeah, it's a racial thing. It's really mainly for bringing people back from, the
Jean walks up and puts his hand on Revna and imparts some of his lay on hands energy on her, and he'll heal her 10 points.
Oh.
Then he'll just give Vala a look turn around with the hammer in his hand and walk back to the door.
I literally just explained what I'm able to do, and you're being salty.
Yeah, I get it. You have racist healing. Cool. Can we?
She's going to thank you because that was a lot, and now she feels much better. And we're gonna maybe go towards the door.
Question. When y'all walk into this doorway, it's complete darkness. Does anyone have dark vision? I completely forgot.
I do.
Jean and Vala does? Okay. Revna, you do too?
Yeah.
Okay, so the only one that doesn't have it are Calliope and Oswald. Whoa. Okay. Are y'all going towards the door?
Yes. The girl's holding a hand axe, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let me see your axe.
She kind of hugs it to her chest.
Let me see it. You want to see a magic trick or something? Cool. He just boops it and casts light on it. There you go. Yeah.
And she's looking at it. She's like, "What did you do?"
He casts light on it, so now it shines like a torch. So she can't see in the dark, but she has like a flashlight. It's the axe. There you go. Leave me alone.
Awesome, kind of, and he's like holding out a short sword and like tapping his foot.
Come on, bro.
Vala's just gonna walk by. Vala's gonna walk by him and pat him on the shoulder. You gonna be alright.
I actually don't have dark vision. I was thinking of my ASMR. I don't. Yeah.
We all
everybody's using her light then, because there you go. Don't let the little girl die. That's the name
It's
of the
all
game.
gonna surround Calliope. Make sure she doesn't die.
Because you busters can't see in the dark.
You busters. So I guess because Calliope has been blessed with the ability of light, she feels the need to lead everybody. So she's just gonna start going forward, and she's like holding the axe like this in front of her face, and she's gonna just start walking.
We really let.
I'm gonna be a good 10 feet back away from all of them and let whatever happens to them happen to them. God bless.
I'm gonna walk in front of her because I gotta keep my promise.
I can also scout ahead.
You can't see.
I forgot. Unless we can. I forgot. Okay, I forgot something that just happened 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes ago. Unless
Scout ahead. I am not.
Unless
I can't see a goddamn thing.
Unless I would like to argue that since she has lived a lot of her nighttime in these nightmares, maybe she's accustomed to the darkness and can see.
Are you negotiating with Evanescence lyrics? She's lived so long in these nightmares. She should have darkness. Get out of here.
Amazing. I will not scout ahead.
I think you should.
Go ahead and leave that to me.
Look at the crow's nest.
So yeah, y'all are walking, and as you get further and further, it gets darker and darker and darker until the only thing that you can see for the people that don't have dark vision is just this glowing axe. So y'all are walking.
Mm-hmm.
And
Relax.
do you know how far this light goes,
Yes, it
Vala?
do. You touch one object that is no larger than 10 feet in any dimension. Until the spell ends, the object sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet. Light can be colored as you like, minus silver, because you know your boys gotta represent the brand. Completely covering the object with something opaque blocks the light. The spell ends if you cast it again or dismiss it as an action. If you target an object held or worn by a hostile creature, the creature must succeed on the dexterity saving throw to avoid the spell.
Ooh, okay. Cool. So y'all are walking, and from what you can see, everyone, it's just a walkway. There's not really anything in front of you. There's nothing on the side. And in fact, as you keep going, the walls start to get narrower and narrower. Not to where they're like touching your shoulders or anything, but y'all would have to walk in a straight line.
Do we even know where we are going?
That matter?
What?
Would you like to go back?
I mean, I'm considering it, yeah.
By all means.
John continues to take point walking forward and
Go
tells
follow right
Cal,
behind.
just make sure you're right behind me, okay?
Okay.
Person, I turned that light off in death. He just keeps following. Leave you motherfuckers blind. Fumbling in the dark.
It's still there. It's still there.
I wish I had some alcohol to negotiate.
Honestly.
Alright, we walking in the dark and we going in a straight line, I guess.
Yeah, I'll follow behind Jean.
I'm 10 feet behind the group.
Okay.
You're gonna get caught.
So, after a little bit, suddenly you start to see the wall kind of go wider, and you see that there are two paths, one on your left and one on your right, and there's like a fork in the middle that splits off the two paths. Would y'all like to go left or right? And that's not a trick question, just genuinely which direction.
Left is always right. Left is always right.
Oh, I don't trust you. We going right.
You don't trust
I'm
anyone,
turning
Zara.
off the light. We're going right, or you go without sight.
Okay, out of character, what is your alignment? What is your alignment, Noir?
I'm just getting chaotic. I'm just getting chaotic. And
No
when you say that you're gonna turn off the light, Calliope stops.
She go.
And like she starts shaking because she's scared of the dark.
Well, I guess we're going right.
Jean's gonna look down at the ground by his feet and see are there any like loose rocks on the ground? Like small pebble type rocks or anything? Okay.
Uh-oh.
He's gonna reach down and grab two, throw one down the left path and throw one down the right path and see if either of them indicate like if either one echoes harder than the other to where it indicates it goes on farther than the other.
The right definitely echoes harder.
Right path takes longer to get through. Left path ends sooner. Chances are good. Right path is the one that leads us out. Left path ends in a dead end. And he's just going to start walking to the right.
Like I called it. You know,
I'll
I am.
follow.
Me to that child.
Calliope's still frozen, and she looks at Vala, and she's like, "Are you gonna turn it off?"
I'll cast message at the kid and go, "Hey, that's called a bluff, kid. The light's all yours."
That's me.
Does have
10 words.
Hmm?
I was saying 10 words. Well done.
10 words. So she keeps walking, and she follows Jean. Does everyone else follow down the path of righteousness?
I am going to ask the crew to stop for 10 minutes.
You gonna stop for 10 minutes?
Yeah,
Why?
Is it like a short rest, or?
sure. I need to do something because I didn't know we were going to be going down a goddamn labyrinth, and I would like to be a bit more prepared. So I need 10 minutes. Can I get that, please?
How do you know in 10 minutes we can't be out of here?
We might not be safe if we stay for 10 minutes, but we might not be safe if we go forward. So, what do you need to prep?
Just need to get some eyes, okay? So, like, make sure I don't die for 10 minutes. And I would like to cast my Find Familiar. And I would like to have my Raven. Oh no, I have my owl. I'd like to have my owl fly up ahead and see if he can find the exit.
Okay. So I've never messed with familiars before. Do you have to roll for that, or does it kind of just happen?
As long as it's in here, let me pull it up. As long as it is within like a few hundred feet, I can see through its eyes.
Okay.
Sorry, give me just a second. Your familiar must be within 100 feet to deliver. So yeah, I'm just gonna look up ahead by 100 feet.
Okay.
What do I see?
You still see darkness. You still see this walking.
My owl has dark vision.
Okay. So yeah, you just see this walkway, and it keeps spanning and spanning and spanning. But when it gets to around 90 or 95 feet, that's when you start seeing something emerge out of the darkness. Actually, like, it's pretty big. Like, it's this giant being just kind of crawling, and you see this big hand just like pull itself out of the darkness. And you can't see its face, but it's just going slowly and slowly and slowly. And through your owl, you can kind of feel the vibrations at which, like, it's shaking this hallway, but it's still crawling.
Oh, fuck. Like, you see his sight return to him, and he calls the bird back, and he pulls out his sword, and he goes, "All right, kid in the back."
Why?
We gotta fight.
With what?
I have no idea.
What did you see?
Big evil thing climbing out of a thing, and it's coming.
How big?
How big exactly? Like pretty big, right?
I think about 10 feet.
Yeah, pretty big. 10 feet, about, give or take.
How long till we encounter it?
I don't know, maybe good 10, 15 minutes. I'd rather be prepared beforehand, but hey, if you like to dawdle, we can do that too.
Was this outside of the narrow path, or did he see this like within this narrow path? Like, would we have to fight it one-on-one kind of thing?
So you all are at the fork, and I'm assuming you sent your familiar down the left side, right? Where you were gonna walk?
Oh, I thought we were going down the right side.
Sorry, the right side. Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I sent you down the right side.
Then yeah, it's down that right pathway.
Okay. So we would get stuck there.
Probably.
We should probably wait here. Surprise it. I'm sure it knows we're here, but we'll have a larger space to attack.
Which means take your 10.
And that is where we are going to end tonight. Okay. So, thank you all for coming to watch. We appreciate it so very much. There was a lot that happened tonight. But as always, it is a good time. Give me just a second. So, If you enjoyed what you saw tonight, you can catch us on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 7 p.m. GMT on twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg. And we are also on YouTube as well. And there are podcast versions of the show for you to catch. We are nearing the end of Andor, actually, which is very sad, but it has been a very, very, very cool adventure. So while we're still here, you go ahead and catch the episodes. It'd be great. But we also play every Monday at 6 p.m. GMT and 10 a.m. PT. And it's Gloom Falls on Baldur's Gate, and it's just a launch and will end June 2021. And like I said, on Tuesdays, you will catch Andor, and all of our shows are streamed on Twitch. And a massive thank you to our sponsors and the D20 Club on Patreon for making this happen. We appreciate you so much. A huge thanks to Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, and Elderwood Academy, and our supporters from Idle Champions and Warriors of the Waterdeep and Level Up Dice. We are on all social media as Roll Together RPG. So everyone, please take care of yourselves tonight. Hydrate or dihydrate. And we will see you all next Tuesday.